What's up, guys? I'm on the channel. What we're doing today, we're going to be working on the motor here. Hopefully have a first start, or slash semi-first start. We're going to look around, see what we need to do, and is there anything that we need or got to do before this thing even starts up. So, what we got done on it so far, oh god, I don't want this towel on the ground. So far we got done, we got the carburetor all set up basically. I think everything's tightened up in that part. The only thing I got is set up is the throttle cable, which is not until we got in the go-kart. It's also snowing outside. It's all raining, not snowing anymore. Raining outside now, so I can't go outside and actually go do this, which I might bring the go-kart inside, who knows. But we're gonna try to do a first start in the house, with or without the go-kart. So yeah. So turbo side, everything's pretty good. The only thing I'm worried about is I tighten this down and there's a gap. There's gaps right here, but I'm hoping that around the turbo part actually is sealed. Hopefully, I'm hoping, and we don't have to do anything crazy. But other than that, turbo side's pretty good. Lubrication system's all set and done. Just gotta get some clamps. You know, they gotta get some clamps for some things around here. But for right now, what I got is pretty good for what we got. Fuel system is half done. Just the only thing I need to do for this is, like I said, clamps and also plumb the fuel tank to it. Lubrication system for the turbo, she's all done. This basically how it works. Sucks through the engine here, comes up around, goes to the pump right here. It works off 12 volts, which will have it on battery. Come up around, push down into the turbo, drains out right here. When you want to see how that was done, that would be the last in the last video, which I'll link right here. Other than that, I think we're actually pretty good, and we can probably actually have a little startup right here. Probably get some fuel in the carburetor, and maybe we'll see how this thing sounds. I think that's a good idea. All right, I'm gonna get this thing here plugged in now. What this is actually the boost gauge to the engine. So we actually read the boost that's reading out, but I'm only gonna put this on here so that for one, we can read boost, but two, we don't have a vacuum leak or a runaway engine. So for now, we're gonna put this on and maybe make some boost so we'll actually be able to tell. Put choke on. Now, I don't know how the hell I'm gonna hold this thing up. So as you can see, I'm trying to crank this engine, but there's just no prevail to it. Literally, it felt like it was like combusting as soon as I was cranking at some point, or like the valve wasn't opened up at a certain point in time like it was. So I knew there was something up. I really didn't want to admit there was something up, so I just kept trying, going, until eventually I was like, forget it. I'm gonna take this thing outside and we're gonna try to crank this up on a go-kart, because maybe it just needs to be connected to something to make it feel easier, which I was just trying not to take apart this thing, but that's what we do next. Alright guys, so we got the motor back here now. It started raining on me a little bit, so I put it in here. So I'm gonna check one thing. I'm gonna see if my push rod fell off out here, because that's the only thing that makes sense. Which I'm hoping it's that, because then I want to take the motor back apart. But I hope it also isn't, because it's not that hard to fix, but it's just something I don't feel like fixing. But I hope it is it. Let's just say that. I really do hope it is it. If it is it, then we're in pretty good shape. So as you can see here, the push rods are actually on there, and they are not detached, so that is not the issue. Alright, so I'm taking off this face plate again, just to check on some stuff, because it makes no sense of anything why it would crank hard. So I'm gonna check some stuff to make sure things are okay in here. I found a timing mark, I think. Alright guys, I think I found my issue. I think it is out of time. So I've been going off this mark here, but I found this other mark literally 100 degrees the opposite way. Come on. Which would make sense right now, because this is top dead center. And I'm going to double check this. Now, this should be the right timing for this. Alright, so if you can't see, and I didn't see this originally. So at first I thought that was a time mark, that little marking. The LWL, which I have no clue what that is. But then I just found this little marking. I don't know if you can see it in the light, but there's a little marking with a little dot. A little arrow with a little dot on it. This crank was never actually marked to the timing. But I think I found it, so hopefully it starts up now. Hopefully, or hopefully I don't bend the valve, which would be even worse. Alright, I just checked it, so I'm gonna put this lid back on. And hopefully, she cranks up now. Alright, so this thing should be able to start up now. Alright, let's see if this thing even starts up now. Hopefully it does. If not, this will be very sad. Oh, so much better. Alright, so listen, this was a hell of a lot easier to crank up now, so it was the timing. Now listen, I only timed it that way because there is no mark, and down in the basement I couldn't see the mark that I found outside. Now the mark was literally just engraved. It wasn't like it was like an actual drilled mark for the timing. It was actually just a little engraving, very slight engraving, and I don't know if the camera picked it up or not, but slight engraving. But I found it thankfully, and it was literally 180 degrees off, so which made sense of why I had a hard crank. So now cranking it up, now I just can't get it to start. I'm like, shoot, is there gas? Is the carburetor not pumping enough gas into it? Is there no spark? So eventually I started looking for spark and stuff, and eventually I found out that there was no spark actually. So I'm like, shoot, what can I have done? I didn't do anything that like had anything to do with the spark. Like I did take off the cover for the spark, but I didn't touch any of the mechanisms to take anything apart. So eventually I took it apart, and then I found that there was a wire that I crimped when I took the cover off. When I put the cover back on, a wire got stuck in between the cover and the engine and pinched it, and it actually dug into the wire and actually exposed the wire to the metal, which did not allow it to spark. So that's eventually what I found, and soon enough we'll be hearing this thing running and going. Alright guys, so the issue why it wasn't starting up, besides the first issue, is I pinched this wire here. So you see it's bare wire. I'm probably gonna have to fix that definitely, but for now I tested it. It does have spark now, so we should get our first test run now. Oil's running now. Lower the idle. Alright, so we finally did it. We finally got this thing started up. Now, I didn't really say much in this clip because I was really surprised that it was even running. I was like, wow, it's running. But we do got a small issue. If you look at the intake pipe, you see that there's fluid building up in the intake pipe, which later on you will see an issue pop up with that. And this is where all the smoke is coming from, because all the oil and fuel just goes flying into the cylinder. So you'll see that in a few seconds. But let's hear this thing rev up, see how much boost it can make, and continue on from there and see the excitement. Wow, that was awesome. Okay, that's all started falling off. Woo. take off. We made about 8 to 10 pounds of boost on this thing, which was insane. I was showing the boost on the thing for on the camera, and it was awesome. She runs. That is perfect. Next video, guys, we are going to get this thing running and take this thing onto the street and feel the power of this Predator turbo engine. And it's getting really cold out, so it's good boost weather. All right, guys, so as you see, we got it running. It started right up. Now next time is going to be the actual first test drive of this thing and see actually how much power this thing actually has. And is that oil inside the... Oh, that's fuel. No, that's fuel. Okay. So the only issue we have now is just fueling. We might hydrolock this thing with the amount of fuel that's coming through this thing, but it works. So listen, like I said, if you guys enjoyed this video and enjoying the content, hit a like on this video. Comment below how long is this thing going to last on this type of boost, because we made about 10 pounds of boost according to my boost gauge. And yeah, I have no clue. But like I said, leave a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys next one. Don't forget to follow your dreams, do whatever it takes, and I'll see you guys next one.